this is Cheryl. I'm going to do a reading for today and got some water. Pretty hungry, but I'm going to eat after I do the reading. I made some spaghetti yesterday. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks. The first deck is the Goddess deck. Try to get one card out of this deck. Eve. The word Eve means life. The goddess Eve is the mother and nurturer of all life. She is the creator of the world and of all living beings, lady of the beasts and steward of all growing things. Even in the Bible, she is portrayed with a snake, a potent symbol of the vital life force found in every living being, representing rebirth and regeneration. In one of the Gnostic texts, it's also Eve who calls Adam to life. Eve is an embodiment of primal female creative energy, of the powerful urge to create and sustain life. She is the active femininity and relatedness to all that lives. She is life itself. And that's the Goddess card. The next deck I'm going to do is the Halloween Oracle deck. These are the decks I was drawn to today. Quite a few decks, but that's okay. Two cards. Owl, wise seeing, wise action, and death. The eternal cycle begins here. Okay. Owl. Silent, winged, and wise, all-seeing creature of the night, show me the way. I will follow you in flight. Owls have, for thousands of years, been a part of folklore and have been considered a special or sacred animal. With their huge forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they have been seen as both wise and harbingers of the supernatural. There are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivorous. Interestingly, they all have specially designed feathers that enable them to fly silently at night, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of like having a stealth mode. Many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most famous was the Greek goddess Athena, who was famous for her strategy and intelligence. To this day, the capital city of Greece, Athens, has Athena's owl as its symbol. Should the hooting owl come looking for you this Halloween, it indicates a need for wise counsel or further information before you make a decision. Considered action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively. Okay. Death. The eternal cycle begins here. 'Tis not the end, though I may pass in the night, I get to do my time over, although you may get a fright. Many pagans believe that death was the beginning of the cycle of life. When you think about it, most people consider the act of birth to be the beginning of life cycle. We are born, we live, and we die. Depending on your beliefs, you may go around again. Instead, pagan cultures see death as the beginning of a whole new adventure, the place where your soul gets to choose where it incarnates, why and what it wants to experience. Then and only then does it get born into a body that lives and eventually dies before returning to ride a new cycle. Halloween is a celebration of death as a part of life. As humans are conscious beings, we know about death and many are afraid and uncomfortable about it. Halloween illuminates the universal truth that all of us will die just as all of us were born. So be fearful to the end process is fairly pointless. Halloween asks us instead to make friends with death just as we seem friendly with birth, and to not allow our fears and grief to bring unnecessary pain. Do not be afraid if you pull the death card, as it simply means that something is falling away or will do so, and you can begin strongly afresh. There is a great power in this clearing. If you pull this card at Halloween particularly, the message is stronger still, and you should actively celebrate this new beginning. So this is a sign of new beginnings. Not necessarily about death, but new beginnings. Okay. it's not Halloween, so, but I was drawn to this deck. I like this deck because Halloween's one of my favorite holidays. So. And the next deck is Believe in Your Own Magic. Here goes a card. Okay, Escapist, Come Home to Yourself, and Dragons Slay Them All. Number 32 and number 6. 32. Everyone wants to escape their lives occasionally. Some of us like to binge watch shows. Some of us like to listen to music. That's me. Some of us like to read, and some of us like to leave it all behind and go on vacation. All of that is totally healthy. Our lives can get incredibly stressful. However, too much escapism can mean that you're not confronting a big problem, which isn't healthy for you. Face it head on and let the pieces fall where they may. Okay, number 6. Dragons, slay them all. When the heart is involved, people don't always have the best intentions. They will pretend they're good for you, only for you to find out they're toxic or even abusive. The time has come to face your dragons, and you must slay them before they slay you. Of course, don't literally slay them, but make sure they know you won't stand for the mistreatment. And I'm going to look up the angel numbers for those two cards. 32. Your relationships with yourself and others are being supported by your angels and guides. Call on them for as much help as you need and know it's never too much. Number 6. Take time to eliminate all that's blocking your joy. Follow what makes your heart dance. Those are the angel numbers for those cards. And the next deck we're going to do is the Journey into Hidden Realm. This is my favorite deck. Well, that and the Halloween deck. I like the pictures on these cards. Okay, that's good. Page of Cups, the Empress, and the Hermit. Page of Cups. This card represents someone who is fascinated by emotions and relationships. She is likely discovering a new level of intimacy in her life, either with someone else or with something dear to her, such as an artistic or creative project. All her energy and focus are there. She may seem lost in her own world, which, given her new discovery, is understandable. If you are able to draw her attention away, she will likely be eager to share her discovery with openness and enthusiasm. Empress. Life is indeed a cycle with many phases. The Empress card, though, comes at a time of abundance in your life. Whether you have carefully nurtured and tenderly cared for is on the verge of reaching its highest potential. This is a time of great creativity for you. If you've not yet planted anything, choose carefully because your heart and your life are fertile. Whatever you sow, whatever thoughts, words, feelings, or actions will surely grow and bear fruit. Tend to yourself and your life with a loving touch. When necessary, remember that loving kindness sometimes requires difficult actions. Plants need space to flourish, and some need pruning to thrive. And the Hermit. The Hermit card shows up when it's time to withdraw from the world and do some soul searching. This can mean a time for recharging your batteries so you have the energy to jump back into your busy life refreshed. More often, it means going within and looking for your own truth, which isn't easy as it sounds. You will face dragons such as your own ego, the expectations of others, your most cherished desires, or your worst fears. You will gain confidence born of certainty and wisdom earned in struggle. While the Hermit isn't technically a teacher, as with the Hierophant, others will learn from you as your life becomes a walking testament to the treasures you find in the dark. And that's those cards. And the next deck I'm going to do is the energy cards. I felt like wearing yellow today. It's a nice bright color. And this is a shirt that my dad gave me. Okay, we got number 37 and number 32, the Oracle's Gift in Quieting the Mind. The card number 37 is light energy. When we ask for a sign from the universe, we are essentially asking for divine guidance that we believe needs to come from a source outside of us. This is because we don't always trust our intuition, our ability to read between the lines and see beyond time and space. And so we ask for signs and look for a mystical reassurance that our mundane lives don't seem to offer. However, an oracle simply provides an answer that is already inside us. Oracles show up in a myriad of ways. Sometimes you see a billboard or hear a song or pull an oracle card, and you get the exact message you need to support your choices or show your way forward. Regardless of how the sign appears, this oracle is a reminder that you are part of the vast universe. You are witnessed by the great mystery, and you are loved and cared for. It's a reminder that life is magical. You are magical. Today, trust in your own capacity to know what is right, to tune into source, and also be able to read the signs reflecting what is real and true within you. Let this oracle give you the gift of knowing that you are indeed on the right track. Repeat the mantra, the light within me creates the miracles in my life. The magic is inside you, outside you, all around, and within you. And number 32, this is sound energy. Life is chaotic, busy, loud, frantic, and overwhelming. Some days, all that noise is like the roar of thunder, echoing around you, and feels as if you're being pummeled by a rainstorm. Isn't this why we take vacations, to get away to somewhere peaceful? In spite of the surrounding din of the world, today you need to slow down and find a bit of peace. So go ahead and take a deep breath right now. Make a commitment to be still, only for 5 minutes. Count your breaths and be mindful of every one of them. Know that you have all the time in the world to do the things that need doing. Everything is perfect as it is. Our core beliefs about the world originate in our thoughts and feelings, which then become our perceptions. If our thoughts are all over the place, that's how we will experience the outer world. But what if the outer world didn't matter at all? What if at our center there's a place that is always calm, where the mind doesn't have a million things to say, where problems and challenges aren't nearly as important as we think they are? Today requires you to take an internal break and go to that silent space to regroup. Meditate on the stillness within. Choose a peaceful mind and nothing else. You will be amazed how real easily everything falls into place once you do. And I'm going to look up the angel numbers for those cards. Okay. 37. The masters of manifestation are surrounding you and helping you create the life you have always dreamed of. And number 32. Your relationships with yourself and others are being supported by your angels and guides. Call on them for as much help as you need and know it's never too much. Seems like we just did that one. Yeah, that one came up earlier, so that's the same angel messages we got earlier, so thought so. Okay, so that is an important message, I think, for today. The last card is the Osho Zen Tarot. Okay, we got awareness and friendliness. Okay, friendliness. First meditate, be blissful, then much love will happen of its own accord. Then being with others is beautiful, and being alone is also beautiful. Then it is simple too. You don't depend on others, and you don't make others depend on you. Then it is always a friendship, a friendliness. It never becomes a relationship. It is always a relatedness. You relate, but you don't marriage. Marriage is out of fear. Relatedness is out of love. You relate as long as things are moving beautifully. You share. And if you see that the moment has come to depart because your paths separate at this crossroad, you say goodbye with great gratitude for all that the other has been to you, for all the joys and all the pleasures and all the beautiful moments that you have shared with the other. With no misery, with no pain, you simply separate. And awareness. Mind can never be intelligent. Only no mind is intelligent. Only no mind is original and radical. Only no mind is revolutionary. Revolution in action. This mind gives you a sort of stupor, burdened by the memories of the past, burdened by the projections of the future. You go on living at the minimum. You don't live at the maximum. Your flame remains very dim. Once you start dropping thoughts, the dust that you have collected in the past, the flame arises, clean, clear, alive, young. Your whole life becomes a flame, and a flame without any smoke. This is what awareness is. And that's the reading for today. And I'm going to have to figure out what I want to name this video, because there's a lot of messages. And take any that resonate with you, and hopefully some do. And if you like my channel, subscribe and like the video. Thank you.